A Mortal's Journey to Immortality Episode 315. In the previous episode, Han Li stepped into the valley's true inner region, a place twisted by ancient battles and filled with drifting arcs of spatial distortion. The sky and ground shimmered with rainbow light, while the very flow of spiritual energy churned in chaos, threatening to disrupt any technique he used. Following the only reliable path left behind by Master Cancun, he and his companions advanced slowly, knowing a single misstep could tear them apart. Throughout the long journey, Han Li memorized every turn and sensed hidden dangers scattered along the route, ancient formations, sealed areas, and traces of cultivators long gone. Yet he restrained his curiosity, focusing only on reaching the lair of the ancient flame toad. At the end of the previous episode, their steady progress abruptly halted as Marquis Nanlong stared ahead with a troubled face, revealing that the path had changed. What will happen next? Stay tuned. And the story continues. Lu Weiying noticed nothing out of the ordinary about the two mountains and bafflingly asked, "Is there something wrong with these two mountains?" Marquis Nanlong's gaze lingered on the peaks for a moment, and he replied cautiously, "From this point forward, we are heading toward one of these two mountains. The place where they join together is where the ancient flame toad's nest can be found. But there is a complication. On the left side of the mountain range lives a small group of soaring purple-lined scorpions. There are only tens of them, but each one is extraordinarily ferocious. If we disturb them, it will cause serious trouble." Lu Weiying's eyes widened, his voice rising in alarm. Soaring purple-lined scorpions? Those terrifying insects that wiped out all the cultivators of the Ocean Mist sect in the state of wuxia? At the mention of the name, Han Li felt a sharp wave of shock run through him. He knew from his studies and the exotic insect rankings that these creatures were not just dangerous, they were near the peak of exotic insect evolution. A living embodiment of lethality. Marquis Nanlong, sensing the tension, continued with a sigh, "That is correct. These are indeed those vicious insects. And this particular group is even more fearsome than the swarm that appeared in the state of wuxia. They have existed for tens of thousands of years. Their bodies have completely matured into a black-purple color, a sign of their immense power and long existence. Every one of them is dangerous beyond imagination." Lu Weiying's composure faltered. He turned to Marquis Nanlong with wide eyes and a stern expression. "Fellow Taoist Nanlong, you must be joking. How could we even consider provoking the purple-lined scorpions? If there were only 2 or 3 of them, we could approach cautiously, but there are over 10. Engaging them would be suicide." The Marquis's face darkened. He attempted to offer an alternative, his tone hesitant. "There is one other path, but it is far more dangerous. That route is filled with numerous invisible spatial tiers. It is impossible to traverse safely. We cannot even determine their exact locations. Between these two options, dealing with the purple-lined scorpions is far less dangerous." Lu Weiying shook his head vehemently. "No, we absolutely cannot fight the purple-lined scorpions. You only know of what happened in the state of wuxia, but I personally participated in the extermination of a group like them as a representative of the Heaven Peak sect. They are beyond imagination in their ferocity. Provoking all of them at once is suicide. There is no alternative." Han Li remained silent for a moment, his mind racing. He recalled what he knew of the purple-lined scorpions from the exotic insect rankings. Soaring purple-lined scorpions were ranked 14th among exotic insects, just below the gold-devouring beetles. They did not consume all things like the gold-devouring beetles, but their defensive power was almost equal. Ordinary magical weapons could not harm them. They were incredibly fast, highly venomous, and exceptionally resilient. Han Li considered the current group. Although only tens in number, they had lived in Devilfall Valley for countless years. Their bodies were black-purple. A peak form reached after millennia of maturation. This small but fully grown group was more than capable of annihilating unprepared cultivators. Marquis Nanlong's knowledge of them was limited, but Lu Weiying's experience had given him a first-hand understanding of their terrifying abilities. As the three stood there, unsure of how to proceed, Han Li's mind shifted to strategy. One path involved revealing his crucial ability to sense and navigate spatial tiers, a skill he preferred to keep secret. The other path meant confronting deadly scorpions. Each option carried risk, but one could be manipulated with the right plan. After a long, tense silence, Han Li finally lifted his head with a slight, calculating smile. Both Marquis Nanlong and Lu Wuying immediately noticed his expression. Nanlong's voice carried a mixture of hope and anticipation. What, could it be that Brother Han has a solution? Lu Wuying's gaze brightened as well. Though he remained cautious, Han Li did not speak immediately. Instead, he reached into his storage pouch and produced a small green bottle. Holding it up carefully, he asked, "Have you two fellow Taoists heard of the 10 supreme poisons?" Lu Wuying nodded, a hint of awe in his voice. "The 10 supreme poisons? I have heard of them. They are unbelievably venomous. Even the slightest contact can be fatal. I know that Wei Wuya primarily cultivated venomous techniques, allowing him to use one of the 10 supreme poisons called corpse venom. When others confront him, they dare not approach, or they risk dying without warning." Marquis Nanlong's gaze fell upon the small green bottle in Han Li's hand. His curiosity piqued. "I have also heard that a few of the 10 supreme poisons have miraculous applications beyond their lethality. Could it be that fellow Taoist Han possesses one of these poisons?" Han Li nodded calmly. "You have guessed correctly. This bottle contains one of the 10 supreme poisons, Jadedove. It is said to be refined from the saliva of a demon bird with a jade-colored beak. While the poison is deadly, it can also be used to manipulate and lure creatures." Lu Wuying's expression shifted from fear to cautious hope. "Brother Han means to say." "Yes," Han Li interrupted softly. "The purple-lined scorpions are durable and deadly. But if we use this poison strategically, we can draw them away from the mountain. That will create an opportunity for us to pass safely." Marquis Nanlong immediately understood, a smile spreading across his face. "Ah, of course. Fellow Taoist Han is skilled in puppet techniques. We can coat a few puppets with the poison. The scorpions, drawn to the scent, will follow them away." Han Li considered Nanlong's words, though he noted that the Marquis had conveniently placed most of the action onto him. He accepted it. It was a minor burden in the grand scheme of their mission. And he had both the skill and the poison left behind by Master Kang Kun to ensure success. He recognized the poison instantly using his medicinal experience. Han Li reached into his storage pouch and summoned 5 enormous ape puppets. Their forms massive and imposing. He carefully poured a few drops of Jadedove poison into several small jade bottles, sealing them tightly, and instructed the ape puppets to hold them firmly in their massive hands. Under Marquis Nanlong's guidance, the ape puppets quietly advanced toward the left mountaintop, where the purple-lined scorpions were known to dwell. Han Li, Lu Wuying, and Marquis Nanlong stayed a few kilometers away, hidden in the shadows, ready to move quickly once the scorpions were drawn out. The puppets reached the mountaintop, moving cautiously so as not to alarm the creatures prematurely. When they arrived at the strategic position, the ape puppets used all their strength to crush the small jade bottles in their hands. Suddenly, a putrid, acrid smell immediately spread through the mountain. The scent was thick, clinging to the rocks and filling the air, permeating the surroundings with its stench. The ape puppets, having released the poison, moved swiftly to one side of the mountain, ensuring the scorpions would be drawn toward them, creating the perfect opportunity for Han Li and his companions to proceed. In this episode, we saw Han Li and his companions face a dangerous dilemma as they approached the mountains where the ancient flame toad's nest was located. They discovered that the left side of the mountain was guarded by the deadly soaring purple-lined scorpions. Fearsome creatures known for their incredible speed, resilience, and venom. With no safe path around, Han Li came up with a clever solution using one of the 10 supreme poisons, Jadedove, to lure the scorpions away with his giant ape puppets. This brilliant strategy allowed them a chance to safely cross the mountain and continue their journey. What happens next? Stay tuned for the next episode of Immortal's journey to immortality. If you enjoyed this episode or found it exciting, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to receive the latest updates on Han Li's journey. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode.